Hello and welcome back to Mental Health Toolkit. I'm Annie, and today and over the next few episodes of this channel, I'm going to be talking about relationships. I plan to explore different elements of relationships, the importance of them, and various skills that you can use in your interpersonal relationships to participate more effectively in them, to communicate your needs and wants well as be curious and empathetic to the people in your life and what they might want and need out of the relationship you have with them and the relationship they have with other people. We all have various relationships and kind of levels of intimacy and vulnerability in our relationships. There's those people in our life that we have a lot of intimacy with, where we feel very connected to and close with. Those people we really let in close that know a lot about us. It might even be people who do know a lot about us. We may not want them to be very close to us, but they do have a lot of information about us. But it's also those people we choose to let into those most vulnerable thoughts and beliefs and feelings and the experiences that we've had. We also have those people that we would call friend, that we might have certain deep conversations with, but we may not let into all of the depth of who we are. And then we have those people that we do a lot of life with, our coworkers, places of work, those people that we might attend church with, those people that we're maybe even in our families that we don't see all the time, but that we still feel connected to. And then there's those people that are in the more general areas of our life, the cities we live in, the people at the grocery store, even if you go travel, the people at the gas stations you have to stop at to get gas, the people at airports, anywhere that you're interacting with people, we need to use these relationship skills depending on the relationship and what we need and want. So I provided a handout to you all, and it has these concentric circles on them, so these circles that kind of go bigger and bigger out. There's directions on that front page of your handout that has you walk through those circles. And the center circle, the most middle circle, is for those people you feel absolutely closest with. There's usually only at most a handful of people, maybe up to 5 people in that circle that you really let in, really close to who you are. You've shared your deepest, darkest secrets with, you've shared intimacy with, you've been vulnerable with in your life. And then we have circle 2, which are those people that I referred to a little bit ago, those people that are in small groups that you're a part of, it could even be close coworkers that you feel pretty connected with, that you let in on at least certain parts of your life, more specifically. Then there's circle 3, and those are those people that, again, are those people that you attend church with, that you maybe don't see a lot, don't converse with a ton, but you know each other because you see each other at church and you care about each other in that way. It could be those coworkers that you're not as close to, you don't have much of a friendship with, but you care about, you work well with, and you have some interactions with. And then circle 4 is, again, those people that may be in the city you live in, those random people that we come into contact with a lot in our lives. And to fill out those circles, it can help you kind of reflect on your relationships and where they are right now. And then on the back of the sheet that you can find, and I'll include the link to this handout, there's 2 pages. On the back, it kind of helps you explore some questions like, what do you notice about your circles and who you've put in those circles? What surprises you about the people you ended up thinking of or putting at the different levels of connection? How do you feel? What emotions come up looking at that, those circles? And what does it say about your relationships? Is there any action that you might want to take to draw in closer to some people that are a little bit more distant right now from you, or to set more clear boundaries with people that are pretty close, but that you, by looking at the circles and thinking about those people, you want more distance from? Henry Cloud and John Townsend, in their Safe People series, they have a book and then a DVD series that talks about safe relationships and what those really look like. And they bring up the idea of having a life team. And they say usually that's about 3 to 7 people that you really let be a part of your life. It could be those 3 to 7 could exist in that really tiny circle, and then might even be 1 or 2 people in that circle number 2, where you feel pretty close with, you have some accountability with, those people that are in your small groups, but also those best friends, those family members that you really connect with and look up to. Researcher and friendship expert Shasta Nelson was interviewed by Jen Hatmaker in her For the Love of Girlfriends podcast, episode 3. And what Shasta Nelson said in this interview was that research shows being disconnected from other people is as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, twice as harmful as being obese, and does the equivalent of damage to our bodies as being a lifelong alcoholic. And that is, being disconnected from people is just as harmful, if not more harmful, than those behavioral or body experiences. Having healthy, supportive, safe, and trustworthy relationships, what Shasta says is having those buffers our bodies from absorbing the impact of stress in our lives. It actually protects us from taking on the damage that the stress in our lives has. The more stress we have in our lives, the more we need friendship in our life to help buffer that and protect us. So what she says is we all have stress. We're all going to have stress. And depending on our lives, our workplace, our family systems, the neighborhoods we live in, the churches we're a part of, the communities of people we interact with, that may add a lot of stress to our lives. And what she says is, it's not bad to have that stress as long as you have a good network of people around you. And you might need more people, more supports, the more stressors you have in your life. She says we all need to ask that question: how loved do I feel, and how supported do I feel? And our answers to that question can help us kind of look at, do we really feel connected to anybody and supported by anybody in our life? And if not, how can we start the work to build on the current relationships we have that could be that safe, trustworthy relationship, or find some new safe people in our life? Sue Johnson, an expert in couples therapy, states that the path of resilience in human beings is being able to turn to another human being and use the comfort of that person as a resource to deal with the discomfort of the trauma faced. So in that quote, she's specifically talking about when we experience traumatic life events, that we need another person to turn to and let them in on that. She also just talks about how we all need a safe, stable, supportive person in our life, at least one, but ideally having a few of those people can really help us live healthier lives. So your homework, if you choose to accept, is to go to the website, which I said I have the link to below, and fill out your concentric circles and respond to the questions on the second page. Who you put in those circles and why, and what that says about your relationships, and what it might indicate that you want to work on some more or explore some more in your life. As you process this, remember to check in with people in your life that you do trust to maybe talk through it with, and be kind to yourself.